So we'll be talking about UI UX, introduction to UI UX today. I'm welcoming you to another session. What is UI UX? UI UX is the design aspect of websites, app, and softwares. That's when you put into consideration your users, which is the UX aspect. Then you go ahead and create an intuitive design that is user-friendly and user-centered. UI UX is a field that combines both user interface design and user experience design. Although these terms are often used together, they refer to different aspects of design process, UI and UX. So there are two different aspects that people often call together, UI UX, but there are two different things that are being brought together as a single course, which is the UI and the UX. While the UI is talking about the user interface aspect, the UX is talking about the user experience aspect. The user interface aspect is what you put together: the colors, the elements, the navigation, typography, layout, buttons, and everything. That's UI. Everything that has to do with the design of the app is actually, or the website, is actually the interface design. So which is the user interface design. Why the UX is actually the user experience aspect, because you need to put into consideration your users before you go ahead and create your design. Before you create a user interface design, you need to put into consideration the people you are actually creating the designs for, which are your users. So that's when UX comes to play. So user experience is the goal of user experience is to create a user-friendly, intuitive, and meet the needs and expectation of the user. So the process in user experience involves research, testing, and iteration to create a seamless and enjoyable user journey. This can include creating user personas, wireframe, prototypes, and conducting usability tests. So the first stage of one of the process in creating a seamless user experience is gathering your user persona, create your wireframe, you prototype, then you conduct your user testing. The processes involved in UX design. The first stage is to discover, might be done, which is mostly done by the client. The client need to discover themselves, okay, they're having a problem in-house. How do they go about it? Then they come up to you as a UI UX person. It's now your own job to define what their problem is and brainstorm on the solution, which is when you now ideate. You brainstorm on the solution, you create the solution. Then the next stage, you prototype. So after your prototype, in the process of the prototype, that's when you create your designs, you create your wireframes. Then the last stage, you test to see if you actually made a success or you created more problem. So what are the key components of UI UX design? The first component in UI UX design is research. You make your research to gather information about your users. How do they think? What do they do? So you need to understand your target audience, their needs and their behavior through methods like surveys, interviews, and user testing. So you need to conduct a survey, you need to conduct interviews. Even after doing the designs, you need to give some of your users to test it to see if you're actually creating a solution or you are creating more problem. So with your surveys and interviews, you should be able to know what your users are actually expecting. But if you are not, in some cases, the clients might provide you with resources like data from the data analytics agencies. Then there won't be need for you to stress yourself and make some surveys or interviews. But you as a UX person, you need to also make your own survey to prove to the client that actually you know what you are doing. Even if they didn't give you data, you were able to also gather the data yourself. And you also need to work with a physical proof, what you are actually sure of, not just judging from your own end. because you are not the actual person that will use the app, so you can't conclude from your end. You need to also make research to check if what you're thinking is actually in line with what the users actually wanted. So the next stage is wireframing and prototyping. Wireframe is the rough sketch after you've concluded on the design you are going to you want to do. Is the rough sketch you create to create a blueprint of what your design will look like. So the moment you do a rough sketch, that's what the wireframing is. Then when you start designing, that's you start prototyping. Then the next stage is what is interaction design. So it's during your interaction design you now decide how you want your users to transition from one screen to another, the animations that will be included, then feedback. Then the next stage is information architecture. Information architecture in the sense that you draw the hierarchy of your design, how they are going to transition from one screen to another, till they get to the final stage. And some of the tools used for that is sitemaps and flowcharts. And the last stage, which is very important, that I do emphasize on, is the usability testing. After every design you do, you must test by giving to your end users to check if you actually made a success or you created more problem. Why is UI UX important? Good UI UX design enhances user satisfaction and retention. Retention in the sense that for a successful app or website that you design, the moment you make a success, every user should be able to revisit the app or the website. So you are retaining them. So how will you retain them? Is by making it user friendly, and making it easy for them to use. So whatever you are doing must be user centered. The next importance of UI UX is it helps differentiate products in competitive markets. In the market where we have Jumia, we have Konga, the easiest way for you to differentiate the two products is by their interface, by their designs. So you need to understand what the users want, then create a design that will separate them from the market. So if you are coming in with another app, another e-commerce app, there must be a difference. There must be something that will be unique about the design that will make people to visit the app. Thirdly, reduces development costs and identifying and fixing issues early in the process. So the moment you are doing your UI UX design, even from your design you might have detected a problem even before programming it. Unlike then that they will just go ahead and program. Before now, they will just go ahead and program without even considering if it will create more problem, or it is after the designs are launched, the users are now using, they now start detecting that there's a problem in the app or the website they actually created. So with UI UX, you can easily detect a problem from the design before it's being even programmed. Then it increases productivity and efficiency for the end users. So the moment your users starts using your app and it's time saving and this thing, so you make them more productive. They'll be able to do more things in a day compared to when they spend 2 hours on apps that are not supposed to use more than 5 minutes on. So you are actually saving them a lot of time and resources. In summary, UI design is crucial for creating products that are not only visually appealing but also provide a smooth and satisfying user experience. User experience in the sense that the moment they visited the app, you solve the solution, you give them a solution, and they are happy using your app. Believe me, they'll definitely come revisiting. So by focusing on the user and their needs, designers can create products that are successful in marketplace. Thank you.